Now that we've been studying Lucy Gray for a few days, we're going to move into talking about figurative language. Before I begin discussing, here's a great video found on YouTube showing how figurative language is used frequently in society today.
A simile compares two things using the words like or as.
Do you ever feel like a plastic bag drifting through the wind, wanting to start again? Do you ever feel so paper thin, like a house of cards, one blow from caving in?
Katy Perry uses two similes in this part of her song, Firework. She compares feelings to a plastic bag, and she also compares feelings to a house of cards. We know that these are similes because she uses the word like to compare two things. Metaphor compares two things, not using the words like or as, like a simile does. It usually uses the words is or are.
You forever. Action, thriller, I could watch you forever. You are my cinema, a Hollywood treasure. Love you just the way you are, my cinema, my cinema. Get up, get down, spruce that down. My DJ gonna break it down. Get up, get down, spruce that down. My DJ gonna break it down. Get up, get down, spruce that down. My DJ gonna break it down. Get up, get down, spruce that
In the song Cinema, he's comparing you, more than likely his girlfriend, to a cinema or a movie. He's using the word are, not the words like or as. Therefore, it is a metaphor. A hyperbole is an exaggeration not to be taken literally.
This girl is on fire. This girl is on fire. She's walking on fire. This girl is on fire.
Is that girl really on fire? Probably not. She's comparing this girl to fire because she is saying she's becoming, or awesome. Therefore, this is a hyperbole, or an exaggeration not to be taken literally. Personification is putting human characteristics on something that is not human.
Oh, you set my heart beat running away. Feeling like a drum when it's coming your way. Can't you hear that boom, 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 boom? Ain't that this super bass? Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, that's that super bass.
In Nicki Minaj's song Super Bass, she talks about her heartbeat running away. A heartbeat can't really run away. Therefore, it's personification, or putting human traits on something that is not human. An idiom is an expression that is not to be taken literal. It has a meaning different from what is written.
When life leaves you high and dry, I'll be at your door tonight if you need help. If you need help, I'll shut down the city lights. I'll cheat, I'll beg and bribe to make you well. To make you well.
In Philip Phillips' song Gone, 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 he says, when life leaves you high and dry. He's not really saying life is leaving you high and dry. He's saying when life makes you feel helpless, or when life makes you feel lonely. This is an example of an idiom because its meaning is different than what is actually written. An onomatopoeia is the use of words to show sounds.
Let me get it now.
Gotta get that. Gotta get that. Gotta get that. Gotta get that. That.
In this song, the Black Eyed Peas are using the word boom and zoom to show sound words. Now it's your turn to find figurative language in songs. Find the lyrics to your favorite, school-appropriate song online, and write the lyrics on a sheet of paper. Highlight and label which types of figurative language are being used. There must be at least 5 types of figurative language in your song. You may go back to the YouTube video if you need to review the type.
Although we won't be doing the assignment shown at the end of the YouTube video, we will be doing something similar. To start, let's review what figurative language is. Figurative language is using figures of speech, descriptive language, or manipulated language to talk about something in a way that it normally wouldn't be. You saw the examples in the video of the songs. There's also tons of examples online, in the media, in publications, books, movies, TV shows, ads. They're everywhere. So let's find some examples in Lucy Gray. At the end of the poem, we see this stanza, and sings a solitary song that whistles in the wind. Now, this wasn't talked about in the YouTube video, but I trust that we've all encountered what this is before. This is called an alliteration, where a consonant sound is repeated for effect. We see here S, S, S. Sings a solitary song that whistles in the wind. They're W's. So again, this is called an alliteration. Next, we have this line from the middle of the poem, that rises up like smoke. Can you guess what this one is? If you guessed a simile, you're right. Why is it a simile and not a metaphor? Because it uses the word like. Finally, we have this example. But there was neither sound nor sight to serve them for a guide. This one's a little tricky. Take a moment and try to guess what form of figurative language this line is. If you guessed personification, give yourself a pat on the back. Now, like I said, this one's a little tricky. There was neither sound nor sight to serve them for a guide. If we take a guide as a literal person guiding you, sight and sound cannot take you on a guide. Now that you know what you know, for class tomorrow, I would like you to find one more example of figurative language from William Wordsworth's Lucy Gray. I'd also like you to find 2 examples from pop culture. These can be songs, movies, commercials, books, anything else. And remember, bring it to class with you for credit.